What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Maverick Man 101. Got a video today from Man Talk. Woman threatens husband with divorce and he instantly submits to her. Let's go.
I have been with my husband for almost 20 years, but about 3 years ago, I was strongly considering divorce.
Just like a woman.
And I want to talk to you about why. So I'm going to tell you the story of the day where I thought to myself, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. My husband and I had 4 kids.
Right.
We both worked full time. We've been together for 16 years at this point. We've been together since high school.
Good.
And on paper, I have an amazing husband. He is incredibly supportive. He's kind. He's loyal. He's a great dad. He's very hands-on. He's an active participant. He's always present. On paper, what else could I ask for?
Right.
But in reality, my experience is very similar to the experience of other women. I had this amazing husband who on paper was great, but I was incredibly frustrated and burnt out from our marriage and from motherhood. Because what happens to so many of us is that we marry these amazing men and we have amazing relationships and then we have kids. And when we have kids, women tend to carry a disproportionate amount of the work in the home, the work of raising kids, and the mental load.
Yes, because you don't earn as much money as he does, and you have more free time than he does.
And that is exactly what happened to us. About 3 months after my 4th baby was born, I remember looking at my husband and saying, I need more. I need you to do more. I am
Oh, boy. You know, this is typical. This is very typical for modern women in marriages. And I think CGA talks about that marriage will, right? Which I think is absolutely true. You know, I've never been married, been in a relationship, right? Been in relationships, and I've seen this happen, right? Women tend to follow the same playbook in marriages, right? So, I mean, she said a lot. Well, one thing, right? They were married 16 years. Good, right? A lot of people don't get that far. Said they met in high school, so have a high school sweetheart kind of relationship here. Good. I mean, you know, not mad at that. Do your thing, right? Do you, boo-boo. But I think that, you know, you hear her talk about the work of raising kids, right? She needed more. These are all signs that this woman either wants to test the field, right? Or what tends to happen a lot with folks is, you know, once kids come, that relationship changes. The relationship dynamics change. That's why I think it's important for folks who are in relationships to really spend time with each other before the kids come, right? Once those kids come, your dynamics in that relationship are going to change, right? And what sounds like to me is that she's just complaining about nothing, right? She's looking for a way out. Now, she's probably always had it in her mind about developing a way out. And now it's just the time to press the go button, right? But let's keep letting her talk.
exhausted. I am in charge of everyone and everything in this house. Every night when we cook dinner, you ask me what to make. Every day when you drop off the kids at daycare, you ask me what they need in their backpacks. I am the project manager of this home and I need you to do more.
So basically, you're saying you don't have what it takes to be a wife and mother.
Right.
Got it.
Pathetic.
And he looked at me and he said, okay, just tell me what to do. Right? Every woman has heard this. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I said, okay, something that would make my life easier is if in the mornings when I came downstairs with the 4 kids, because I do mornings by myself, the dishwasher was emptied, the dishes were put away, and the trash was taken out. That would make my life so much easier because when I've got the 4 kids running around and the baby crying, I can't be looking for their favorite water bottle in the dishwasher.
Favorite water bottle. Because drinking from anything else is cringe, right?
Bruh.
You know, considering I was your kid's age in the early 90s in post-communist Romania, when we didn't have a washing machine, so my mom taught me how to do my own laundry by hand, and the idea of a dishwasher was something straight out of Star Trek, I truly wonder sometimes how my parents and I actually managed to survive. Oh yeah, we got shit done and didn't whine about it.
Yeah, good point. Good point, man. Talk. I think the other thing is too, this guy definitely sounds like he doesn't have any type of authority in his household, right? Sounds like this woman calls him her partner, right? He has no authority, no control. Nothing, right? Because see, here's the part where it's like the spinning plates, right? Again, another thing I heard CGA talk about, you spin plates, right? Is this good enough, honey? Am I doing enough? Does this work for you? And then she'll just keep moving the goalposts, right? She'll move it again. She'll say, oh, well, that's not enough. I need more. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Instead of him saying, hey, look, this is what we're going to do to fix this situation. And that's it, right? This is where we're going. Let's move forward, right? But instead, he puts it into her hands, which, look, man, guys in relationships, guys who are married, they kind of have to simp, man. They really do, to keep peace and order. I mean, they really have to. It's just it kind of comes along with the relationship, right? So this guy is like, hey, look, what do you need me to do, right? Wrong move, because now, I mean, taking dishes out the dishwasher is going to help, ma'am. These utilities are supposed to, really, these luxuries are supposed to make your life easier, but they can't, because you can't make a woman's life easier because you can't please them, because they are insatiable creatures.
So why do you still suck? Get good today.
And he said, yeah, of course. What? Yeah, I'll do that. That's no problem. And so, of course, he does it.
It's not going to work.
But then I have to remind him, and then he forgets, and then I have to remind him again. And there was this one morning where I woke up, and I went to put something in the trash, and it was overflowing.
Yep, see?
And I went to get my son's water bottle, and it was in the dishwasher with all of the other clean dishes. And I felt so disrespected and unseen and unvalued at that point in time.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
And I remember texting my husband being like, what happened? Like, why didn't you do this? And he said, sorry, I was running late for work. And I remember thinking, oh my God, he doesn't see me. Because what he's done has now made me late for work.
Oh, sure. And your work is just as important as his work, isn't it?
My husband and I spend $70,000 a year on childcare.
That is crazy.
And people want to know, how do we afford it? Specifically, what do we do for work? How are we able to pay that much money for childcare? And here's the thing, I will tell you what we do, because a lot of people are wondering, are you working in medicine? Are you in tech? Are you lawyers? What are you doing to earn enough money to pay for that? But we live in Massachusetts, which is a very high cost of living area, which means our salaries are relative to that cost of living. We also have the highest childcare costs in the country. So our childcare costs are incredibly expensive. It is very difficult to afford childcare here in Massachusetts. My husband is a blue collar worker. He is a lineman, which means he fixes electricity on utility poles. It is a very dangerous job. He gets paid like a base salary, and then everything is hourly overtime after that. Like most of his pay comes from overtime. So he's trading his time for money. And that is how we budget for childcare. We'll say, how much overtime do you have to work to be able to pay for this amount of the childcare budget? And on average, he's working like between 400 and 600 hours of overtime a year, I think. The numbers change every single year based on the weather and the storms, etc. But he works a ton of overtime. I work from home in a remote position for a startup in e-commerce.
What?
I work from home in a remote position for a startup in e-commerce. I am in operations management. I am lucky because I've worked for the same team for about 10 years. And so I make a little over $100,000 a year.
So he made you late for work, which is walking into the living room of your big air-conditioned house and turning on your computer.
I tell you, man, any way they can, play the puppy dog eyes and woe is me, they'll do it, right? But this is important, fellas. I mean, if you are going to get into a relationship, if you are going to get marriage, childcare or get married, childcare is an important part of that, right? That is that foresight that I'm talking about, right? That men have, or they should have, right? If you live in Massachusetts, which is one of the, if not the highest cost of living states out there. I used to live in Massachusetts for a little while. Especially if you're in that Boston area, it's very expensive. And so childcare is going to follow suit, right? So these are things that you need to talk about before the child comes, before marriage and all this other stuff. Where are we going to raise our children? Does it make sense to leave a highly expensive state? I mean, they're all expensive, but does it make sense to go somewhere else, right? Do you take some time off from your remote job? I mean, these are things that you have to consider beforehand, right? Things happen, of course, but these are things that need to be talked about beforehand. Shout out to that man, though, man. What she say, 400 hours of overtime? I mean, that brother is working. Good for
Wait,
him.
you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
On the other hand, he's climbing up giant electricity towers, risking death every day, and doing overtime so he can pay $70K a year for childcare for kids he barely gets to see because he's always working.
Right.
Equality, am I right?
No.
And he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about the impact on me. And he doesn't see how every single thing in our home happens because I ask him to do it, or because I do it myself, or because I planned and organized it. The diaper bag is full because I filled it, right? I put the wipes in there. And I felt so frustrated. And I remember thinking, what's the point? What's the point of doing this with someone else? I might as well just do it alone. And it's not because my husband didn't love me or he did anything to me. And it's not because I didn't love him, but because I felt so taken advantage of in our relationship.
So, even though he's never cheated and never got violent with you or the kids, and he's the perfect husband on paper, and he brings in the majority of the household income, and on top of that, he still helps you with household chores, which is your freaking job, you felt taken advantage of and wanted to divorce him because he forgot to empty the dishwasher as he was late for his daily brush with death. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Very true. They keep receipts, man. And I think there's a lot to it, right? I mean, it just happens over time. You know, I mean, they met in high school. Maybe this guy was her first choice, but you know, women are influenced by a lot of different things, right? I said in one of my previous videos, right, that they are the human soundtrack, right? So I'm sure she's probably watched other TikToks and Instagrams of women talking about the duties of taking care of kids and all this other stuff, right? Which, okay, sure. But look, man, these are your kids, right? You should be taking care of them. They just don't like their own kids, man. They don't want their kids to ruin their bodies. They don't want kids to take their youth. They just want the pictures, and they want to brag about their little kids at Christmas parties, and you know, Tommy can spell now and all this other crap, right? So yeah, man, trying to play the victim, right? While this man is risking his life for his family, right? Men, you are utilities to these women. You really are. Because he didn't take a cup out the dishwasher, now she's complaining about a diaper thing. Ma'am, stop it. Stop it, man. These women have no idea just how good their lives are. Really. Sitting in this nice house that looks clean, dishwasher, all the utilities to help you in life, and she still complains. She just wants a reason. She wants a reason to go. That's it. Let's finish.
I mean work.
You're a damaged goods lady.
And this dynamic, it doesn't happen by accident, right? It's not like my husband did it to me, but we've been raised in this society that tells men and women who they should be in marriages and what it looks like to be a good mom versus a good dad. And we know the bar for moms is way up here and the bar for dads is way down here. And we fell into these norms. We fell into these roles in our family despite the fact that we never wanted to. And I'm lucky, and I say lucky because I have a partner who I know loves me and wants me to be happy and was willing and able to change. And so we did the work to figure out what equity looked like in our relationship.
I'm sorry. Did you just say equity?
And so we did the work to figure out what equity looked like.
Oh, shut up.
You know what, sweetie? I'm just gonna say it. Working from home for an e-commerce startup is a billion times less important than being a line man.
Right.
Because if men like your husband didn't exist, you wouldn't have electricity to turn on your cringy little computer or charge your phone to post more cringe on TikTok.
Right.
But the sad part is, your husband folded to your BS because you live in a society where men are not appreciated and constantly ruined in divorce court. So instead of being wrecked by divorce, your husband chose to suffer in silence.
Man, that's messed up.
Yeah, true. I couldn't have said it better. Man talk. I think the last thing for me on this woman, because she's giving me a little bit of a headache, I think for that man, again, in his mind, he's like, look, I got to do whatever I need to do to keep this family together. It sounds like they probably own a home together. They got 4 kids. I mean, that divorce could be extremely messy, and the guy may not recover from it, right? So he's like, look, this is what I got to do. And yeah, he'll suffer in silence one day till he just crashes out, right? Till he just crashes out on the family, unfortunately, right? Not wishing anything crazy or bad. But that's what happens, right? He'll just get to his breaking point and he'll just go for a pack of cigarettes one day and never come back. And that'll be it. Then she'll really be alone. And I want to touch on one quick thing that she said about, oh, I'd rather just do this by myself. I mean, you see just any little bitty piece of discomfort, women are willing to run out the door and do it by themselves, which means let me get the government to help me. Let me try to find a beta simp to help me raise these kids, or let me just live in my car, right? Instead of just working and listening to my man. It's ridiculous. It's absolute chaos.
So guys, next time you think about getting married, remember, this could be your wife.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.
Yeah. And I think this couple, man, I think they are in love, right? Maybe, right? I think they do love each other, right? But she has been, I mean, look at her eyes, bro. This is the eyes of a woman that's been downloaded with feminism at a very early age. And maybe it didn't come out right away, but it was downloaded into her, and now she's talking about, women's responsibilities are up here, men's are down here. It just shows you the disconnect from reality that they have, right? This man is risking his life every day to go to work, to feed his family and make sure that they're taken care of. And she's woe is me because he didn't take a water bottle out of the dishwasher. Now, I know what she would probably say is, well, it's not about that. It's not about, him not taking that. Yeah, it is, ma'am, because you're just picking fights, right? You're picking fights because for whatever reason, in my mind, I think she's ready to go, right? I think she's ready to head out, and maybe she's already planning it. Sounds like it to me. I hope that man watches his back. Folks, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for tuning in. Leave a comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys for watching. Until next time, eat well, sleep well, be well. I'll see you guys later.